Assalamu alaikum, hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this video I'm going to solve paper 2 multiple choice extended Cambridge Chemistry IGCSE code 0620 variant 2 October November 2022. So let's get started. Actually guys, multiple choice is kind of easy paper. Also you have the mark scheme for this paper. It's easy to find the answer. However, not everyone knows sometimes why an answer is an answer. So we're gonna try to explain exactly some tips and tricks in order to allow everyone to understand what's behind the answer. So let's get started again. So this is number 1. Here we have the rate of diffusion of 3 gases, ammonia, carbon dioxide, and methane is measured. What is the order of the rate of diffusion of the gases from slowest to the fastest? Guys, here actually the factor we talk about here, so this is regarding to the mass of these molecules we have. So we need first of all to arrange them regarding to the masses. So we need to calculate the mass of everyone firstly, and then we need to start slowest here means the heaviest to fastest means the lightest. So we have carbon dioxide and we have ammonia in H3. Also we have, this is CH4, methane. How can we calculate? As you know guys, we need to use that periodic table. Of course you will have a copy for in your paper. So here we have, this is carbon, you see you get the number for 12. For nitrogen this is 14. For oxygen it's 16. So by using these numbers, these masses, we can calculate the mass of everyone quickly. So for carbon it's 12 plus O is 16 times 2, so it's gonna be 44. For ammonia we have N, so N 14 plus H weighs 1 times 3, so this is 17. And finally for methane CH4, so C weighs 12 plus hydrogen weighs 1 times 4, so this is 16. So I think it's clear now the heaviest one is carbon dioxide, so carbon dioxide should be number 1 regarding to this order, and 17 should be number 2, and then finally methane should be number 3. So I think the correct answer now is clear. This is A, because carbon dioxide is the heaviest, and then ammonia, then CH4, so this is the correct answer. Okay. Number 2, which description of Brownian motion is correct? Guys, actually Brownian motion is already removed or cancelled from our new syllabus. However, we can solve it quickly. Random movement of particles due to bombardment by large particles. So of course large particles is not correct. Letter B, random movement of particles due to bombardment of smaller particles. Actually this is the correct answer. So the correct answer is B. Here we have, by the way, for C and D, random movement of particles from a high concentration to a low concentration, or either here in D from low concentration to a high concentration. Actually here it investigates the point of the diffusion, not Brownian motion. So C and D, they are wrong. Okay. Number 3, the chromatogram obtained using 4 substances J, K, L, and M is shown. Here we have solvent paper, we have baseline, and here we have M. The question is, which statement about M is correct? Let's check which statement about this M is correct. Letter A, it's a mixture of J and K only. Well, it's J, so this is J. As you see guys, here we have J, it's okay. And we have K already, yes, but of course it's not only. Letter P, a pure substance, so of course it's not a pure substance, because here we have a mixture of different substances forming it. Letter C, it's a mixture of J, K, and L, so let's check. This is J, K, and L. So actually guys, look at L. Here we don't have L, so this is also not correct. So I think the correct answer is clear now. It's a mixture of J, K, and an unknown substance. Actually, guys, look at this. Look at this spot. Actually, this is unknown substance because we don't have any reference over here. So the correct answer is D. So let's circle. So D is the correct answer. Okay. Number 4, which statements about isotopes of the same element are correct? You know, guys, isotopes, they are different forms of the same element. For example, if we have X as an element and another isotope is X, so we could say, for example, here C12, this is carbon actually, and here we have C as, for example, 6 and 13. So you see, we have the same proton number, but they are different in the mass number or nuclear number due to the difference in number of neutrons. So we check that option number 1, they are atoms which have the same chemical properties. This is correct because they have the same number of electrons in their outer shell. Actually, this statement is correct because, you know, same proton number. So it's supposed, you know, proton number equals number of electrons. So this is correct. Number 2, they are atoms which have the same number of electrons and neutrons. Of course, guys, this is not correct. They don't have the same number of neutrons. This is the wrong answer. Number 3, they are atoms which have the same number of electrons and protons, but different number of neutrons. So this is a typical correct answer. So actually, it's 1 and 3. So here we have letter P says it's 1 and 3. Okay. Number 5, which statement about solid magnesium oxide is correct? Solid magnesium oxide. You know, guys, magnesium oxide is an ionic compound, and I think everyone can make its formula. As you see, this is MgO. So Mg actually lost 2 electrons in favor of oxygen. So Mg forms 2+ as a charge, and for O, this is a negative by gaining the 2 electrons, so it forms 2-. So this is actually the ionic compound. Letter A, it's a giant structure made up of magnesium and oxygen atoms. Wrong. Bonded covalently. Wrong. So this statement is completely wrong because of atoms and covalent. They are ions, and this is ionic, not covalent. Letter B, it's an electrical conductor with mobile magnesium, mobile. So this is not correct because, you know, here we have something called crystal lattice, and, you know, all ions here in this lattice are restricted. They can't move actually. These ions can't move. So the word mobile here is completely wrong. So let's move to letter C. Magnesium loses electrons, and these electrons move freely through a lattice. So actually, guys, this is also not correct because the electrons lost by magnesium are gained by oxygen, not to move freely like metals. So it means the final should be the correct answer because here oxygen ions and magnesium ions, this is correct, ions and ions, are attracted to each other in a giant lattice, which is crystal lattice. So actually, this is the correct answer. Okay. Number 6, which molecule contains only 3 shared pairs of electrons? We need to count only 3 shared pairs of electrons. The first one is CH3OH. So I think here you have C, 1, 2, 3 H's, 1, 2, 3, and here O, H. If you count, guys, number of shared pairs of electrons, you'll find here 1 pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here actually we have 5. So this is not correct. Second one, Cl2. Actually, guys, you know, Cl2 molecule contains Cl atom bonded to another Cl atom by a single bond. So this is only 1. So this is also not correct. For water, we have oxygen, and we have a bond with hydrogen, another bond with hydrogen. So here we have also 2 shared pairs. So this is also not correct. The last one should be the correct answer. N2, you know, N2 means we have 2 N atoms, N and N. And because N as an atom ends by 5 electrons, you know, N, 7, So if you distribute 7, it should be 2, 5. It means we have 5 electrons in the outermost. It means every n has 5 electrons, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see, guys, here we have 3 shared pairs of electrons between them. So actually this is the correct answer, and you have to memorize and remember this regarding to N2. Okay? Number 7, which particles are present in the structure of metals? Number 1, positive ions. You know, guys, in metals we have, this is nucleus, and we have electrons outside as any element, but the point of metals that we have outermost electrons, actually they are mobile or movable, so these electrons actually can move. So we can see actually a kind of this structure. You have here like positive ions, as you see, or positive nuclei, and you have moving electrons, or you can say a sea of electrons. And actually this is also the reason behind the metallic bond. You know, here in metals we have something called metallic bond. This is attraction between the positive ions and delocalized. You know, delocalized means movable or moving or mobile. So this is the metallic bond. So positive ions, this is correct. We have negative ions, this is not correct. We have negative electrons, not ions. Shared pairs of electrons, also we don't have shared pairs of electrons, so this is not correct. Mobile electrons, I think you understand, yeah, we have here mobile electrons, so this is also correct. So the correct answer should be 1 and 4. So 1 and 4 is B. Okay? Number 8. Caffeine is a stimulant found in coffee. This is a structure of caffeine. This form is like displayed formula for caffeine. Which formula represents caffeine? Actually, it's easy to count, so we can count already number of carbon and so on. Let's start by carbon. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 carbon. 8 carbon, so it means A is not correct, and we have B, C, or D. Let's go to second one is H. So here we have H, this is 3. 3 plus 3 here, 6. 6 plus another 3, they are 9. 9 plus 1, so this is 10. So actually we have H10. H10 means, so it should be either C or B. So D is not correct. Okay? And then we have N. Let's count N. For this one here we have 1, 2, and this is 3, and then 4. So N is 4. Here we have N4, this is correct, and this is not correct. And if we need to make sure also for oxygen, here we have O2 and this is O2, so this is already choice number or letter C. Okay, so it's easy to count, but take care of counting, so it should be correct. Number 9, which sample does not contain a number of atoms equal to the Avogadro constant? Actually, guys, I see this question is confusing a little bit for some guys, not for everyone, of course. First of all, because here sample does not contain a number of atoms equal to Avogadro constant. What is Avogadro constant, guys, as a number? You have to memorize it's 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. This is Avogadro constant, as you know. In this question, we need to make 2 calculations for everyone. We need to know number of moles, and we need to know number of atoms, because finally we need to have this number of Avogadro should be 6.02 times 10 to the power 23 atoms. Let's start the first one to show the answers. So here we have 14 grams of nitrogen N2. N2, let's see how many atoms in this. So every 1 mole of N2, 1 mole of N2, it contains 2 N atoms. 2 N atoms, because it's N2. Also, let's check this 14 grams. We need to know 14 grams, number of moles of this 14 grams. You know the rule, guys, number of moles equals mass over molar mass, MR. The mass here is 14, and the molar mass for N2, so we can do it here also as a draft together. So this is M equals M over MR. So regarding to nitrogen, we have 14 grams over N2. N2 means 14 times 2. 14 times 2. 14 was 14, so this is half or 0.5. So 14 grams means this is half mole. So we have here also half mole. So actually this is 0.5 mole. So if we take all of these information, so we need to say half times the Avogadro. So let's do this. So 0.5 times Avogadro 6.02 times 10 to the power 23, and then times number of atoms, because number of atoms we said 2, because every 1 mole of nitrogen has 2 atoms. So by doing this, so 0.5 times 2 should be 1. So finally we'll have Avogadro's constant of atoms in this one. And the question asks about the one does not contain. So this is not the one we look for, so this one is not correct, because this one contains already Avogadro's constant. If you didn't get it, guys, we can do the same for letter B, so I think it can be also to make sure you understand. Here we have 60 grams, and we have H2O. We need also to calculate number of moles of water, and we need to calculate number of atoms in every molecule. So number of atoms for H2O, actually every 1 molecule, as you see, of H2O, it contains 3 atoms, 3 moles of atoms, because we have H2 plus O. It means H, another H plus O. So actually the sum is 3 atoms. And also let's calculate number of moles. Number of moles, we need to use the same rule, N equals M over MR. So the mass given here is 6. So M is 6 over MR of water. So this is H 1 times 2 plus oxygen is 16. So this is 6 over 18. So this is 1 over 3. So now we have number of atoms 3, number of mole 3. So we can work on it now. So here we have, this is 3 atoms times number of moles, which is 1 over 3, times Avogadro 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. I think it's easy, 3 with 3, so the final is Avogadro constant atoms. It means this is also not the correct answer. Okay, so this is not the correct answer, and I think you can do the same here for helium. You know, helium, here we have single atom. The molecule has single atom already, He, and from the periodic table you find that the mass of helium is 4 grams already. So this 4 gram means it's 1 mole. So 1 mole, it means it contains 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. So this is also not the correct answer. So the correct answer should be letter D, and we can do it together. Here we have 28 grams. This is carbon monoxide, CO. So I think everyone now know the rule. How can we do it? So 28 grams. So we need to calculate number of moles. N equals 28 over MR for carbon monoxide. You know, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16. So this is 28 divided 28. So this is 1 mole. So 28 gram is 1 mole. What about number of atoms, guys? For every 1 CO molecule, we have 2 atoms, 2 moles of atoms. One of this is carbon, another mole is oxygen, so we have 2 moles of atoms. So to collect everything, So number of moles is 1, number of atoms is 2, times Avogadro 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. So you see guys, 1 times 2 will make it 2. So the final is 2 times Avogadro's. So this is not Avogadro, it's Avogadro constant times 2. So this is not contain a number of atoms equal to. So actually this is the correct answer because it's a double Avogadro or Avogadro times 2. Okay guys? Number 10, the electrolysis of concentrated aqueous sodium chloride and molten sodium chloride is shown. Here we have this concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, and this is molten. You know guys, the difference between aqueous and molten, sodium chloride molten means we have only 2 species within the electrolyte. We have Na plus ions and we have Cl minus or negative ions. But in aqueous sodium chloride, actually we have Na plus ions and we have Cl minus ions. Also because this is aqueous, so we should have H plus and OH minus. This is for water. You know guys, H2O, water, also in this electrolyte produces H plus and OH minus. So once we find aqueous, it means we have 4 species in the electrolyte. This is aqueous. But in case of molten, actually we have only 2 species. They are Na and Cl. Okay? So, what are the products at electrodes 1 and 2? Let's check electrode 1. This is 1. You know guys, negative means this is cathode and this is aqueous. So cathode actually will attract a positive species, not negative, because you know opposite charges attract each other. So this negative should attract Na or H. So what is the rule in this case? You know guys, we have to actually memorize the order of reactivity series. If you know the position of H and of course the position of Na is higher than H, it means Na is much or more reactive than hydrogen. So the rule here is the less reactive metal or the less reactive in reactivity series is more likely to be attracted to the cathode. Again, the less reactive metal in the reactivity series, actually take care hydrogen is not a metal, but the less reactive generally is more likely to be attracted to the cathode, which is negative. So actually now hydrogen will be reduced and attracted to the cathode to form here H2 gas. So hydrogen gas bubble of here guys, as you see. And so we should check this. So we should choose hydrogen. So it's either B or C. So A is not correct, D is not correct, so it should be B or C. Let's check now for electrode 2. Actually guys, for electrode 2, this is anode because this is the positive one. This is anode. Here we have only Na plus and Cl minus. So of course this plus will attract minus. So chlorine gas, Cl2, pale green gas bubbles here. So this is chlorine gas. So actually it should be chlorine. So the answer is letter B. Okay guys, I think it's clear, hydrogen and chlorine. 11, when an acid is added to an alkali, the temperature of the reaction mixture rises. You know guys, it's very famous that acid plus alkali called neutralization reaction. You know, acid and alkali is neutralization. Also, here he said temperature of the reaction mixture rises because it means this is an exothermic reaction because the temperature rises. So which word describes this reaction? So decomposition, of course this is wrong. Decomposition, this is not decomposition. Neutralization is okay, C or D. Endothermic or exothermic because temperature rises. So I think it's easy. This question is easy, so actually it's D. Acid and alkali, so neutralization. Temperature rises, so exothermic. 12. Some properties of 4 fuels are shown. Which fuel is a gas at room temperature and makes 2 products when it burns? in a plentiful supply of air. So here we have two given, really important. Which fuel is a gas? So we need to check which one is a gas regarding to this values we have in boiling and melting points. Also we have and makes two products. So actually guys, the first one here, hydrogen. You know, when hydrogen burns, it produces only one product, which is water. Hydrogen burns in oxygen, produces H2O. So hydrogen is not correct because it produces only one product. For methane, octane, wax, all of them you see CH, 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 so they produce two products already. These three options produce two products. Now let's check which one is a gas, okay, at room temperature. So how can we do this, guys? So actually we need to check here the temperatures. So guys, if you check here for methane, this is negative, melting point is negative, and also boiling point is negative. It means methane should be a gas because melting point and boiling point, both of them are negative. Okay, so methane is the correct answer. Also guys, you can remember something we studied in organic chemistry, that in case of methane, you know, the first four members in hydrocarbons, if you remember, so from C1 to C4, so these members are gases. If you remember, this is the fractional distillation. So the first four members here, from C1 into C4, actually they are gases at room temperature. Okay. Next one, 13. The electrical energy or voltage of two simple cells is measured. So here, as you see, we have, this is zinc against magnesium, and here we have magnesium again against copper. So I think we can also put something like, you remember reactivity series again. So if this is hydrogen, of course the copper will be below hydrogen, zinc should be above, and magnesium is further above because it's more reactive than everything here. So let's check here which option is correct. So let's read every statement to decide is it correct or not. The voltage of cell 1 is greater than cell 2. Cell 1 here is zinc and magnesium. Let's check, guys, the distance between zinc and magnesium and the distance between magnesium and copper. So this is magnesium and copper. So of course the voltage of cell 2 should be greater than cell 1. So this one is not correct. How can we know the value of the voltage? You need to subtract the two values here. So look at mg and cu. As you see, the distance is very large, and here's the distance between mg and zn is not large as between mg and cu. So voltage will be in cell 2 more than or greater than cell 1. So this is not correct. Statement 2, zinc is more reactive than copper. Zinc more reactive than copper. So this one is correct because look at position of zinc here and position of Cu. Okay, so this is correct. Magnesium is oxidized in both cells. Yes, because magnesium is the most reactive metal here in these two cells. So magnesium, you know, guys, the most reactive is more likely to be oxidized by losing electrons. So this is also correct. Number 4, magnesium atoms lose electrons. Here oxidized, you know, guys, oil rig. Oil is oxidation is loss of electrons. So oxidized means losing electrons. This is correct. 2 for magnesium ion. So this is correct also. So we have 3 statements correct and 1 is wrong. So let's choose, decide which one. All the statements are correct. This is not correct. Only statement 1 and 3 are correct. Only 1 and 3 also, this is not correct because we have 3 statements correct. Letter C, statement 2 is correct and explains statement 1. Okay, statement 2 is correct, but it doesn't explain 1 because 1 is already wrong. So this is not correct. Statement 4 is correct and explains statement 3. Yes, this is correct and explains oxidation because again, oil rig, so oxidation is loss. So this is the correct answer. Okay, guys, D is the correct answer. This is 14. Dilute aqueous sodium chloride is electrolyzed using carbon electrodes. What is the product at the anode? Here we have, guys, again, this is dilute. Take care of everything. Dilute aqueous sodium chloride. So here we have again 4 species. So if this is the cathode negative, and this is the anode positive, and here we have 4 species. So Na plus, H plus, Cl minus, OH for water minus. Remember, NaCl, this is sodium chloride, H plus OH minus, this is water, so it's aqueous. So again, this is the competition between Na plus and H plus, and which one is more likely to be reduced at the cathode. If you remember from the question before, yes, so this is should be hydrogen because it's less reactive. So hydrogen will be reduced, forming H2 hydrogen gas. And here between Cl and OH, because here it said dilute, so OH ions will be likely to be oxidized here at the anode, forming the oxygen gas. You know, guys, also we need to memorize the half equation for OH. It's really important. So I can write it down here. So OH negative, aqueous, actually we need to put here 4. So oxidation means to lose 4 electrons, plus we have 2 water molecules, 2H2O liquid, and we should have oxygen O2 gas. So this is actually oxygen. So I think everyone should memorize this half equation for OH. And in case of dilute aqueous sodium chloride, remember, in case of dilute, so OH will be more likely to be oxidized rather than Cl. Okay, so the 2 products here, guys, the product at the anode, as you see, this is oxygen. As you see, anode, which is negative, this is oxygen. So the correct answer is oxygen, C. Okay. The volume of gas given off in a chemical reaction is measured over time. The results are shown. Look at the results are shown here. So at which time is the rate of reaction greatest? You know, guys, to check at which time the rate of the reaction greatest, actually we should check here the area through the curve, and we should choose the steepest point. You know, guys, steepest point. Steepest, we talk about inclination or slope of the curve. So for example, here we have the value 0. Look at 0. So of course no slope here. At 2, as you see, look at the 4. So we can draw here like a tangent and to check the angle, and then look at the 6, and then also we need to draw this. So I think if you continue, look at the angle. So the angle here is greater than this, and of course at 8 the angle will be also, if you continue, extend it, so it will be smaller. So again, guys, of course you can use your ruler, it will be more precise. So finally we're gonna find that at 6, also here you can take this area of the curve because it's the steepest area, so you will find 6 is the steepest. So here this is at 6. So the correct answer should be 6 seconds. Okay. 16, dinitrogen tetroxide N2O4 is converted into nitrogen dioxide NO2 in a reversible reaction. The forward reaction is endothermic. So forward means this direction from left to right. Endothermic means it's a positive value for delta H. Which conditions give the highest equilibrium yield of nitrogen dioxide? Highest equilibrium yield for nitrogen dioxide, so it means in the forward direction. You know, guys, for endothermic reaction, of course, it needs high temperature because it's endothermic, so it needs to absorb temperature, high temperature. And all the time, remember, temperature should be opposite to pressure. This is not only here, this is a rule. So if temperature is high, so pressure should be low. So now this is high temperature and low pressure in favor of NO2. So the correct answer should be for temperature should be high, so it should be A or B, and the pressure should be low, so this is high temperature and low pressure, so this is A. Again, guys, so high temperature, so we choose high temperature, and low pressure, so 2, because 2 here is smaller than 50, so this is the correct answer. Also, guys, remember here, really important tip that, again, as I told you, temperature and pressure, all the time, they are opposite to each other. Never choose two options the same. Never choose high pressure and high temperature. It can't be. They can't work together. High pressure and high temperature can't be used together. So all the time, they are opposite to each other. Okay? 17. When magnesium is heated with zinc oxide, a reaction occurs. The equation is shown, Mg plus ZnO to produce MgO plus Zn. Which substance is oxidized? You know, guys, again, oxidation is loss of electrons, reduction is gain of electrons. If you check Mg now, it's 0, no charge. And here Mg with O, so it's 2 plus, as we said in the ionic compound. So actually here from 0 to 2 plus. Okay, so you can remember also, if we have this line, if you put here 0, and here is positive, and here is negative, so the direction here to positive should be, should be oxidation, and the direction to the negative side should be reduction. If we apply this here, so if you check Mg, this is 0, and now it's 2 plus, so from 0 now, so it's towards the positive, so it should be, this one is oxidation. So which substance is oxidized? Actually, it should be magnesium. Okay, so this is easy one to know where is the direction of oxidation, where is the direction of the reduction. Okay, 18. X and Y are oxides of two different elements. X reacted with water to produce aqueous solution Z, and here this Z term is universal indicator paper blue, so it means this Z should be an alkali, and this alkali produced from reaction of X with water, so this X should be an oxide, and because it's alkali, so it should be a metal oxide. Metal oxide, because you know, guys, metal oxides, they form alkaline solution. And here we have an aqueous solution of Y reacts with sodium carbonate to produce carbon dioxide. You know, guys, carbon dioxide from carbonate, sodium carbonate, so we should have here an acid. So Y, this Y should be an acid, or here let's check the options, so which statement is correct. So X and Y are both the oxides of metal, so this is not correct, because we can't say they are both, because here X metal oxide, and this Y we said acid, or it may be non-metal oxide, so they can't be both. X and Y are both, so this is not also correct. X is the oxide of a metal, yes, this is correct, we said that, and Y is the oxide of a non-metal, so this is also correct. So the correct answer here is C. Okay. 19. Ethanoic acid reacts with water to produce an acidic solution. Which row describes the rules of ethanoic acid and water in this reaction? So, you know, guys, ethanoic acid is a weak acid actually. CH3COOH plus water, so it means AQ, or we can say H2O. This one, you know, guys, reversible reaction also, because this is a weak acid. Here this H, which is called proton also, is gonna be donated in favor of water. So we will have CH3COO negative, and everything is aqueous. Of course, this is aqueous, this is liquid, this is aqueous, but no need. Plus, when we add this H here, so it forms H3O plus. So this is a hydronium ion. So actually what happens here is ethanoic acid already donates the H plus, or the proton, in favor of water, and water accepted this. So if we check here, ethanoic acid should donate, not accept. So accept here is wrong, and this is wrong. So it donates a proton, so this is correct. Proton, not electron, this one. And here for water, it accepts a proton, so this is the correct answer. Okay? 20. Copper 2 sulfate is a soluble salt. Calcium sulfate is an insoluble salt. Which row shows suitable reactants for preparing a pure sample of the named salt? The first one is calcium sulfate. Here we have calcium carbonate plus dilute sulfuric acid. Take care, guys, this is calcium carbonate. He didn't mention this is aqueous. So this one will not be pure because it's not aqueous. So we have here a solid. So this is not correct. Letter B, calcium sulfate. So we have here aqueous. Take care, this is aqueous calcium chloride and aqueous sodium sulfate. You know, guys, calcium with sulfate. So this is a substance here, calcium sulfate will be formed. And we have here sodium with chloride. You know, sodium chloride is soluble in water, and calcium sulfate is insoluble, as we said up. So it's supposed this will be the correct answer, because here we will have the insoluble substance, which is calcium sulfate, exists in something pure, because here we have this is soluble. So we can find calcium sulfate alone because it's solid. Let's check C. This is copper 2 sulfate. You know, guys, copper alone can't replace hydrogen, because you know copper is below hydrogen in the reactivity series, and also this is dilute sulfuric acid, not concentrated. So this is completely wrong, and the first one was wrong. Also, if we argue the last one, copper 2 sulfate, so aqueous copper 2 chloride, take care, this is aqueous and it's soluble. This is aqueous also and it's soluble. So copper with sulfate, okay, this is a substance here, but it's soluble. Also sodium with chloride, so this is also soluble. So actually now we don't have a pure solution. Actually, this is mixture of soluble ions together, so this is not correct. Also, this is wrong answer. Okay, so the correct answer here should be B, because in B we have an insoluble substance, which is calcium sulfate, and we will have sodium chloride, which is soluble. So we'll have a pure here we will have a pure sample of the calcium sulfate. 21. Strontium displaces magnesium from molten magnesium chloride. Bromine displaces iodine from aqueous potassium iodide. So actually this is group 2, guys. You know, strontium and magnesium, they are group 2. Bromine and iodine, they are group 7. So this is the reactivity of, you know, strontium, magnesium, they are metals. And here bromine and iodine, non-metals. So which row describes the change in reactivity down the group 2 and group 7 of the periodic table? You know, guys, we have a rule. Going down the group in metallic groups, so reactivity increases. So for group 2 metals, reactivity should increase. So this is wrong, this is wrong. So increases is the correct answer. And of course, it's completely opposite in case of non-metals. Going down the group, reactivity decreases. So the correct answer should be decreases here and increases, so it should be C. Okay, guys? So remember, metal or metallic groups and non-metallic groups are completely opposite in the point of reactivity. Okay? 22. Elements J and K are in the same period in the periodic table. J and K in the same period. J reacted with acids to produce a salt of hydrogen. So of course this J should be a metal. This is from your chemical or chemistry experience. This one should be metal. K reacts with sodium to form an ionic compound. So K should be non-metal, because metal ion react with non-metal ion like sodium and chlorine to form an ionic compound. So which statement about J and K is correct? An atom of J has more electron than atom of K. This is not correct. J and K are both metal. The word both here is not correct. Also here both is not correct. J is to the left of K. We said J should be a metal. Left to the K, so in the periodic table, so this is the correct answer, because you know periods of the periodic table, if you check, guys, for example, sodium and chlorine, for example, so you'll find sodium is here, this is metal, and this is, you see, period 3, and look, here is chlorine in the same period. So sodium is in the left to the chlorine. So this is the correct answer, because periodic table, the period starts by metal and going right side, so we have non-metal. Okay. 23, part of the periodic table is shown. Which statement has a high density, a high melting point, and forms a brown oxide? High density and high melting point, so we talk about metals. We have two areas of metals in the periodic table. The left side area, this is alkalis and alkaline earth metals, group 1 and group 2. And here we have also area in the middle, they are transition metals. You know, guys, transition metal, they have higher density and also melting point than the left side of alkalis and alkaline earth metals. So the answer should be B. And by the way, this B also brown oxide. So this is iron actually. This is the position of iron Fe. So the brown oxide is iron oxide, which is iron rust. So the correct answer should be B. Okay, guys, this is B as correct. 24, the reactions of four metals W, X, Y, and Z are listed. Metal Y displaces metal X from the oxide of metal X. So it means W, sorry, this is W. I said Y, sorry guys. This is metal W. So it means W should be more reactive than X. So I can put here W and then I put X. Okay. Metal Y has a greater tendency to form a positive ion than metal W. So metal Y, it should be also more reactive than W. So I can put Y here. Aqueous ions of metal Z are reduced by metal X. So this Z reduced by metal X, it means it should be less than X. So I can put it here. So this is the arrangement of the elements mentioned here. So what is the order of reactivity of the metals? From the least reactive to the most reactive. So guys, I think we have here the order. This is from the least reactive down to the most reactive up. So we should start by Z. So wrong. So Z and Z, and then X. So here you can find X, Y, W, and Y. So the correct answer here is D. Okay, guys. 25. 3 experiments J, K, and L are set up to investigate rusting. In J we have water and mild steel. You know, guys, mild steel is an alloy of Fe iron and carbon. This is C. And in K, this is water and painted iron. So painted iron means this is Fe mainly, and it's coated with a paint, so it's protected now from corrosion. Stainless steel, this is an alloy of Fe with chromium. If we compare everyone regarding to the point of rusting and corrosion, because this is, we investigate rusting actually. So this one is coated, so this is against rusting. For Fe and chromium, actually this alloy resisting or resists rusting, but for Fe and carbon doesn't resist rusting. So the question says, in which experiments does rusting occur? So this one doesn't rust, this one doesn't rust, so this one rusts. So the correct answer here is, we should choose J, should be correct, so this one, and this is correct, and this is correct, so the correct answer is C. Because again, the alloy, mild steel, iron and carbon doesn't resist rusting. Painted, it's already protected because it's coated. Stainless steel, you know, this is Fe and Cr. This one resists rusting, so it's not correct, so it's C. Okay, guys. 26. Silver is below copper in reactivity series. Which row describes the reactions of silver? Reaction with steam, and here reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid. You know, guys, H, we said the reactivity series. This is Cu, and we have silver. Also, it's below copper. It means it's very unreactive. So reaction with steam, actually no reaction. For Ag, no reaction. And also reaction with dilute hydrochloric, also no reaction, because it's very inactive. So we should choose A. Okay, guys. 27. Iron is galvanized by coating it in zinc. Brass is made by mixing copper with zinc. Which row gives the reasons for each of these uses of zinc? Reason for galvanizing iron. Of course, we make this galvanization for iron in order to prevent corrosion. So, of course, this is not to produce harder metal, of course. We need to just prevent from corrosion. So, it's either A or B. And the reason for making brass, so of course, to make it harder. So, the correct answer for both of them should be B. Here, galvanizing iron to prevent from corrosion and making brass to make it or to produce a harder metal. Okay? 28. The diagram shows a stage of the purification of dirty water. Which process does this apparatus show? Actually, guys, of course, this is, this layers, of course, to filter water. So it's not chlorination, it's not condensation, not distillation. Actually, it's filtration, and I think everyone knows this process. Okay? 29. Which substance in polluted air damages stonework and kills trees? I think, guys, everyone knows also something called acidic rains. Acidic rains. So for acidic rains, of course, this is not carbon dioxide, not carbon monoxide, not lead compounds. Actually, it's sulfur dioxide. Guys, sulfur dioxide dissolves in water vapor in atmosphere to produce sulfur trioxide and then sulfuric acid to cause acidic rains. Okay? 30. Ammonium nitrate NH4NO3 is a fertilizer and is added to fields to help crops grow. Slaked lime CaOH2, this is calcium hydroxide, is an alkali and is added to fields to reduce the acidity of the soil. Ammonium nitrate and slaked lime should not be added to a field at the same time because they react with each other to form a gas Z. What is Z? Actually, guys, we have a rule. This rule says that if you have any ammonium salt, like ammonium nitrate, this is an ammonium salt, and it reacts with metal hydroxide, like this calcium hydroxide, actually it's a metal hydroxide, they produce ammonia gas. So actually the correct answer easily, this is ammonia gas, and you can memorize also the rule. So again, any ammonium salt plus metal hydroxide, they produce ammonia gas. Okay? 31. The scheme shows 4 stages in the conversion of sulfur to sulfuric acid. In which stage is a catalyst used? So here is sulfur, stage A in air to be sulfur dioxide, so this is oxidation. Sulfur dioxide, again, stage B to be sulfur trioxide, so this is actually further oxidation. So actually, guys, this is the correct answer, P. Why? Because first oxidation, okay, can be done naturally, sulfur and oxygen, it's okay. But actually, second oxidation, to make further oxidation, to change sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide, actually, we need here a catalyst in order to motivate or urge the reaction to be done. Otherwise, it will not be done. So the correct answer, again, to make further oxidation from sulfur dioxide to trioxide, we need a catalyst here. Okay? 32. Which element has an oxide that is used as a food preservative? Guys, we have mentioned something causing the acid rains with it was SO2 gas. Despite SO2 gas is really dangerous gas because it forms SO3 and then acidic rains. However, it can be used here in food preservative, but of course in a small quantity. So what form is sulfur dioxide? Of course, this is not helium, not hydrogen, not iron. Actually, it's sulfur. So sulfur is used to make, sulfur is oxidized to make sulfur dioxide, which is used in a right quantity or in a small quantity in food preservative. 33. Which substance gives off carbon dioxide on heating? Guys, here we have lime. Lime, this is calcium oxide, so this is not correct. Limestone, so limestone basically is calcium carbonate. Decomposition of this calcium carbonate produces, as this is calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So this is the correct answer here. And for lime water and slaked lime, actually they are the same, CaOH2, but lime water is aqueous. The first one is aqueous, second one is a solid. So the correct answer is only limestone. Okay. You know, guys, some question actually they like removed from the new syllabus for 2023, but however we can go through them quickly, no problem, as a kind of for more illustration. It's only no problem. 34. Which compound has the most CH2 groups? So this is organic chemistry, groups in one molecule. We need to count which compound has the most CH2 groups. First one is butane. So we can make here a structural formula for butane. You know, but means for carbons. So we can do CH3, CH2, you know, you remember the point of homologous series, CH2, and then CH3. So actually we have here two groups of CH2. For butanoic acid, so we have CH3, CH2, CH2, and then COOH. So here we have also the same. So it means this is not correct and this is not correct because they are the same. Butan 1-ol, so it means CH3, CH2, CH2, and then the last carbon should be CH2OH. The last carbon should attach OH. So actually it should be the correct answer because here we have 1, 2, 3. If we check the last one, but1-ene, this is completely wrong because but1-ene means we have double bond between carbon atom number 1 because this is ene, and then we have C, so this is H3, this one is H2, and here it can't be only one H2 here, guys. Okay, this is completely wrong because of the double bond. Double bond decreases the number of hydrogens, so this is not correct. So the correct answer is only C. Okay. 35. Methane reacts with chlorine in the presence of ultraviolet light. Which substance is not produced? Remember, guys, all the time about the word is not. Okay, not produced in this reaction. You know, guys, in this reaction, methane is alkane. Alkane are saturated, so they can react by substitution, not addition. Substitution means that we can, in case of, for example, chlorine, so chlorine can substitute only hydrogen. So, you know, guys, methane, CH4 like CHH. So if one Cl atom substitutes one H, so it forms this. So this one can be, because he said here which substance is not. This one can be. So this is not the answer. And here also, if two chlorine atoms substitute two H's, so it can form this and this. So this one also is correct. Again, we ask about not. So this one can be, this one can be. Also, guys, H, the removed H can also make a bond with Cl to form HCl. So this one also can be done. So the only correct answer for this is A. A is not produced in this reaction. Actually, guys, here H bonded to H can't be produced in this reaction because here we have carbon, Cl, and H. So we don't have H with H actually in this reaction. This is substitution reaction. Substitution here means chlorine or halogen substitutes H attached to carbon. So you can have H with halogen or halogen with carbon, but we don't have H with H. This is completely wrong. Okay? 36, here we have ethene reacts with both hydrogen and steam. Which row about these reactions is correct? Reactant with ethene. Okay, and here's type of the reaction and then catalysts. So first of all, this is hydrogen substitute. Of course, substitution is wrong. Here, guys, take care. This is ethene. Ethene is alkene. Alkene means double bond between carbon and carbon, as you know. So because this is alkene, so alkenes react by addition. So second one here, this is correct, addition. And the catalyst used here is nickel. So this is the correct answer actually. But the first one is not correct because of the substitution and phosphoric acid. Here for steam, this is substitution, and this is addition, and this is, actually, guys, here this is not correct regarding to this stuff, so this is not correct. So the correct answer is B. 37. The type of reaction occurs when ethanol is converted to ethanoic acid. Remember guys, ethanol is an alcohol and ethanoic acid carboxylic acid. So this reaction is called oxidation. So this is not combustion, not decomposition, not neutralization. Actually, it's oxidation. Sorry, so this is oxidation. The correct answer is oxidation. 38. Hydrolysis of polymer P produces the 3 compounds shown. So you know guys, hydrolysis breaking down in the presence of water. So here we have, they are the 3 products. Let's check the first product. Look at this terminal guys, this is NH2, it's called amine group. And here on the right terminal we have COOH, so you know this one is called carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. Here also the second one, amine group, NH2, carboxylic. Amine group and carboxylic. So actually guys, every one of them is called, look at this, amine, carboxylic, together remember it's called amino acid. Every one of them actually is an amino acid. Amine and carboxylic acid, so amino acid. Okay, so let's check the options. What is the structure of polymer P? Look at the first one. Here actually guys, look at, we need to check the link or the linkage among them. So here we have, look at this. It's really important guys to pull out this. And here also, here we have the same link. So, you know guys, the link between an amine and carboxylic acid is called amide linkage or amide link. So it's called amide, or you could say peptide. Peptide, in case of living cells, you could say peptide. So it's amide linkage or peptide. So here it's called amide. So of course guys, amide. So this is actually, the first one is the correct answer, because if you check the terminals, here you have NH, amino, CO, acid, and this one amino, and then acid, amino, and acid. But if you check the second one, see guys, amino and amine. So this one actually, it means this monomer is diamine, and we don't have diamine actually. If you check here guys, up, look, we don't have any diamine. We have amino acid, 3 amino acids, 3 different amino acids. So we should have in everyone one terminal amine group, one terminal carboxylic group. But here, the first part of the compound, actually this is 2 amines. 2 amines mean this compound should be diamine. If you check also the one in the center here, look, it contains 2 carboxylic groups. Here, this one also is diuic. Okay, so this is dicarboxylic acid, so this is not correct. Okay, letter C. Okay, this is amine and this is carboxylic. Okay, if you check here, this is amine, this is carboxylic, it's okay. But if you check this, this is diamine, so this is not, because all of them are amino acids. This is not correct. Look at this, diamine. Letter D. This is carboxylic, amine, carboxylic. And here we have amine and this is amine. So also here we have a problem, because this is diamine and this is also diuic, dicarboxylic. Also here we have 2 monomers are not correct. So actually the first one is the correct answer, because every monomer is composed of 1 amine terminal and 1 carboxylic group terminal. So this is the correct answer. Okay. 39. Which statement about unsaturated hydrocarbons is correct? Unsaturated, you know guys, unsaturated means we have double bond between carbons. If this is C, single C, so this is saturated, so it's wrong. So we talk about double bond. Look at the first one we have here, double bond. So is an unsaturated hydrocarbon? This statement is correct actually. So let's see. Ethene has more hydrogen atoms per molecule than ethane. This is completely wrong, because you know guys, in ethene, general formula is CnH2n, but for alkane like ethane, CnH2n plus 2. So this is completely wrong, because ethane has more hydrogen per molecule than ethene. Letter C, unsaturated hydrocarbons have double bonds between carbon and hydrogen. Between carbon and hydrogen, this is not correct. It should be between carbon and carbon, as you see. Unsaturated hydrocarbons turn aqueous bromine from colorless to brown. Of course, this is wrong. It should be opposite, from brown to colorless. It means the correct answer should be A, because this is double bond between C and C, so this is the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Finally, number 40, the equation shows the formation of a polymer called Kevlar. See guys, here this is the monomer, and this is another monomer, and here minus H2O. You know guys, minus H2O, so it means we make two processes here. We add the two monomers, so we have now addition, and then we remove or eliminate water molecule, so we have elimination. So we have now addition and elimination. So actually this process called, in organic, it's called, you know guys, condensation. Condensation means addition then elimination of a part, so it's called condensation. And if you check here the link, I think now everyone knows this link now. Look at this. Here we have, this is NH, this is CO. So what is the name? What's it called? What is this link? Actually, it's called exactly amide. We said CO carbonyl plus NH amine, so it means this is called amide link or amide linkage. So we can check now which row describes Kevlar, how the polymer is formed, addition, polymerization. No, we said addition plus elimination. So addition plus elimination together should be condensation. So this is not correct. This is not correct. It should be condensation. So condensation, polymerization, one of them, either C or D. Is it polyamide or polyester? You know guys, the word polyester or polyester means we have ester link. You know, ester link means C, double O, and then O. But here we don't have COO. We have actually NH and CO. This is amide linkage, so this is actually polyamide. So the correct answer is C. Okay, guys? Hopefully it's helpful, guys. If you find something is not clear, so you can write down in the comments. Thank you so much, guys. See you.